Welcome and good morning. Morning has come. Sunday is here. On behalf of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Catskills, I welcome you. I'm the Reverend Margret O'Neill. My pronouns are she, her. I'm in my elder years. My hair is sort of chin length, light brown with, let's call them silver highlights. And I'm wearing a black robe with a light blue stole that has the four elements: earth, air, water, and fire. It's my honor and privilege to serve this UU congregation of the Catskills, and I'm so very glad to be here. You will hear more from me later, of course, but right now our worship associate, Vicki O'Doherty, will provide a welcome and an update on all the wonderful things happening here. Welcome.
We're excited to have attendees both in person as well as virtually on Zoom. If you're a visitor online and would like to be added to our mailing list, you can put your name and email address in the chat box area on Zoom. If you're visiting in person this morning, you can stand and introduce yourself if you like. Do you have any visitors? Welcome, everyone. You can visit our website, uucatskills.org, to find contact information, to be added to the mailing list, and to find the latest newsletter. You will also find newsworthy items on upcoming events in our UU community. A reminder that people of all ages, children, young and old, are welcome here at UU. There is a space across the hall for anyone who would like to hear the service while being able to freely move about. After the service, please stay for an in-person or virtual coffee break. Please take a moment and turn off your electronic devices and give yourself permission to be fully present here and now. We have one announcement today. I lied about the coffee break, okay? Because we don't have any coffee today, because we need people who are going to be coffee hosts. And making coffee with light snacks is what the duty is, and then you clean up the kitchen afterwards. And it's all that's required. It's not really difficult. I've done it a few times myself. So if you're interested, please contact Kathy DiMatteo. Where are you, Kathy? There's Kathy over there. After the service, please find her. We all like our coffee and snacks. Okay. Each Sunday, the Social Action Committee shares notices of an event, a notice of an event, opportunity, or idea that provides an easy way to support our social justice work beyond our four walls and to inspire questions and discussions to explore during our social hour and beyond. Today, we'll hear from Kathy Kastner from the Climate Action Team.
Thank you. These days, it's a challenge to go into the grocery store without bringing home some items packaged in plastic. Take this clamshell container. It looks harmless, right? It has a number 1 with a recycling symbol on it. So what's the problem? Unfortunately, clamshell containers are difficult to recycle and are not accepted locally. These single-use plastic wind up in our landfills, our rivers and oceans, or worse, are incinerated, polluting the air that we breathe. Discarded plastic breaks down into microplastics and winding up in our water and our blood. What's the solution? Stop buying products packaged in plastic as much as possible. Remember these? You can get them at your local food market, or farmer's market, we should say. Second, support extended producer responsibility bills to shift responsibility to those making the packaging. Fortunately, there is some good news. Researchers at UC Berkeley have developed an efficient way to vaporize plastic using a catalytic process to make new plastic, bringing a circular economy for plastics one step closer to reality.
Thank you, Kathy. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious faith that carries no creed and welcomes all seekers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. We are guided by the values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, centered always in the power of love. We draw on many sources of wisdom and inspiration as we seek to understand the world, the universe, and the mystery beyond all human knowing. At UU Catskills, we seek to live our values in every part of our lives. We affirm that Black Lives Matter. We are a welcoming and affirming congregation for the LGBTQ community. We are a congregational affiliate of the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, and we are an active voice in the effort to address climate change. Our sanctuary here is built on tribal land of the Lenni Lenape people, currently known as Kingston. Our prelude this morning is Soon It's Gonna Rain from the Fantastics, played by Catherine Catabiani. I'd like to invite the children up. We're going to light our chalice. Anybody wants to come up, you come up. If you don't want to, you're okay. You can stay. You come up. We don't have room back here yet. So maybe we'll stand up here, okay? Today. All right, good. All right. So we're going to pass this along, okay? And then the last one is going to light this. Can you reach it? Push it forward. Okay, so you can go. This for you. Birthday candle. Turn it straight up. Yeah. All right, please join me in saying, in the chalice lighting words, which will be found in your order of service. We light this chalice in grateful, loving community, even in the darkest of times. May its flame light paths to courage, justice, and hope. And now the unison affirmation. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love to all living beings. May we know once again that we are not isolated, but connected in wonder and joy to mystery and miracle in the universe, in this community, and in each other.
Thank you, Vicki, and thank you, chalice lighters. Today is our annual homecoming, in-gathering Sunday. Someone mentioned to me this morning that they had been traveling and hadn't been here for a while, and I said, you're here on the right day, because this is the coming back day. In this service, we celebrate the ritual we call water communion, joining the waters of our summer experiences symbolically in community. If you're attending this service on Zoom, you might want to get a small container of water. I have mine over there. Get a small container of water. So when we enact this ritual, you might pour some out into another container, symbolically joining in the ceremony from wherever you are. Our call to worship this morning is adapted from words first used in the first UU Water Communion at Women in Religion Continental Convocation of Unitarian Universalists in 1980. So this was started by the Women's Convocation. And their words for the water communion were, making our way like rivers from places distant and near, we come together to give shape to a new spirituality. We come together to question, to hear, to share, to speak, to inspire, and to celebrate through new rituals, knowing that our energy and our love are transforming. Celebrating our connectedness, we choose water as our symbol. As rivers in cycle release their waters and regain new beginnings, so do we cycle. These beginnings are powerful, but not easy. We come to create and to celebrate and to live by the only spirituality worthy of our devotion, a spirituality that uplifts, empowers, and connects. In our journeys and in our coming home, we gather once again to worship in its most ancient meaning. Come, let us give worth. Let us give voice to that to which we give the highest worth. Let us shape. Let us worship together. Now our opening hymn. I invite you to rise and bow to your spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, 361 in your big hardback blue hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. is the traditional time to start the new congregational program year. UU congregations run on a schedule much like schools, and many years ago, UU churches would close down during the summer, simply shutting their doors, much like schools do. Except if you've got year-round school, I guess now we have year-round church. That was before most of our buildings had air conditioning and people had stories about the summer break. One story was that all ministers took off for Cape Cod in June and did not reappear until September. That must have made the Cape pretty crowded with all those UU ministers lying around. Kind of tripping over ministers everywhere you go. Even though now we keep our activities going all year round, and I don't go off to Cape Cod, people do take more trips in the summer and have other activities on Sundays. So we think of our year as starting on this special Sunday in September, and it has several names: ingathering, homecoming, and we celebrate this coming back to church with water communion, a tradition, as you just heard, that started with the Women's Conference in 1980 and has become a beloved practice in many of our UU congregations. And they do it at different times. I noticed some colleagues were doing it in August because, of course, school years have shifted. And some schools now start up in August. And so we've sort of moved around, but it's generally in the late summer or fall. So why a water ceremony? Well, we know that water is essential to life, everywhere from the vast oceans and towering glaciers to the smallest cell in every living thing. When we share water, we are sharing the essence of life itself. Water begins with the atoms of hydrogen and oxygen that create a water molecule, and millions of those molecules create an invisible vapor floating in the sky. And if you were here last time I preached, you must think all I ever talk about is water. That vapor coalesces into tiny drops of water, and when the crowd of tiny drops becomes so dense, so close together that the light reflects off them, we can see them, and that's what we call a cloud. So we can't see the vapor until they're big enough for the light to reflect, which is kind of interesting. Inside the cloud, the drops get more and more crowded, and when they touch, they join to become a bigger drop again and again, and then the drop is too heavy to stay in the air, and it begins to fall, so from vapor to droplet to become a raindrop. The raindrops fall to earth with wind and thunder and lightning as rain or sleet or hail or snow. It lands on the earth, joining with other drops or ice or snow to create more snowbanks and glaciers, creating lakes and rivers that flow into the ocean, then evaporating again to become vapor and start the cycle again, which is one of the reasons that this cycle, it's the cycle of our congregational year and the cycle of water. Rain is a gift that replenishes the water that supports all life on earth. And so as we get ready for our water communion, we can create a rainstorm right here in the sanctuary, and it doesn't involve triggering the fire alarms. At home, for those on Zoom, you can do it as well. Let's get in the spirit of water. So let's make a rainstorm. First, we start up the wind. So to make the wind, rub your hands together like this. And then here come the water drops. Snap your fingers like this. And it's getting stronger now. Bigger drops are falling, so clap your hands like this. And it's really heavy rain now, so pat your legs like this. Wow, here comes the thunder, so stomp your feet. And then the storm ends, and we have silence. Did it rain where you were yesterday? It rained where I was. And I noticed that silence after the rain. It's pretty amazing. All right, so let's start our rainstorm again and bring all the parts together. So this time we'll start with the wind, but then when we switch, some people keep making the wind and others snap for the little raindrops and then clap for the bigger raindrops and then pat your legs and then stomp your feet. So we'll all be doing the different parts. So are you ready? All right, let's start with the wind. All right, now some people keep doing wind and others start doing the snapping. And then others do the clapping. And now we get the bigger raindrops. Now let's have some thunder. Wow. You feeling a little damp? Today, when we celebrate our water communion, we will join our water with drops from hundreds of other places, other lakes and streams and taps, transformed yet again celebrating the homecoming of this human community of transformation in all its loving diversity and caring connection. And so now we will have our joys and sorrows in connection. For our reflection today, I offer words adapted from Elizabeth Lerner Maclay. As drops of rain that fall silver, separate, as unique and separate drops that find each other, that join to run down a window, a rock, or a wall, becoming a rivulet, a stream, a river, a sea, so also we come as separate beings, drawn together to create a torrent, a river, a wave. So we are fortunate to find each other. And so we are bound together on this shared passage toward an unknown ocean and eternity. As we are bound in love, we say amen, blessed be. In the presence of our words, spoken and unspoken, let us hold a brief time of silence for the still small voice within each of us. May our wishes, our hopes, and our prayers resonate in our hearts and rise up to the universe. Blessed be.
It is now time for our offering. You can give in several ways. Drop something in the basket when it is passed. Use the QR code in your order of service, or give by going to uucatskills.org. We contribute to worthy organizations with our half-plate donation. The money will be shared among 7 charitable groups. Please give generously. Our offertory music this morning is by our occasional choir, and it is called, let's see, reserves. The River, of course. Thank you.
gratitude for your great generosity, for the generosity of this congregation, supporting our partners in the community. These gifts are gratefully received. What did I do with my papers? There they are. Not that I'm having good trouble keeping track. Water is the source and birthplace of life on this planet, the element that sustains us. We sail our lives on an ocean of discovery, an ocean at the same time familiar and unknown, ageless and immediate, intimate and universal, forever renewing and new. Water is as close as our heartbeats and our breath. Our bodies are substantially made up of water. The continents of this planet are joined and divided by oceans. Our land masses are crisscrossed by tiny streams and giant rivers. Water is eternal and unchanging, built of the bond among two molecules of hydrogen and one of oxygen. Water takes on myriad forms, dripping and streaming as rain, drifting as snow, hardening as ice, rising as vapor. Like water, we are substantial and ephemeral, secure in identity and transforming as we learn and grow and discover our internal and external worlds. We have come through another year of challenges, both anticipated and unexpected. And the world we live in continues to transform around us, calling us into the dance of change. And so water symbolizes our journey and our return as each year we arrive at summer's end, coming together again as one community, from our youngest to our elders, and all ages and stages in between. We celebrate our coming together, our ingathering, with the ritual of mingling the waters to represent our individual experiences. We offer our individual gifts and uniqueness to nourish the great river of this beloved community. From the many joining as one, we celebrate the strength, love, and joy we find together. Gathered in the sanctuary and on Zoom, together we create a ritual that conveys our sense of connection and relationship. Whoever we are, wherever we come from, whatever our identity, whatever our age, we belong to one another. What affects one of us affects us all. Among us, there have been many journeys this summer. Some of our journeys have been physical, some of them mental, some have been emotional journeys, some have been spiritual. Our summer journeys have been varied and have brought different meanings into our lives. Journeys of renewal, of joy, of sadness, and of change. Some experiences may have given us respite from our hectic and busy lives, leaving us feeling rested and renewed, ready to face the rest of the year with energy, a sense of hope and optimism. And we have brought with us the still waters of rest and renewal. We have brought with us still waters of rest and renewal. Some of us have had experiences that brought us times of gladness and elation, experiences that lifted our hearts. We have brought with us the shining waters of joy and happiness. We have brought with us shining waters of joy and happiness. Some of us have had experiences that broke our hearts, stormy experiences of deep loss and pain, prompting us to shed countless lonely tears. We have brought with us stormy waters of grief and sadness. We have brought with us stormy waters of grief and sadness. Some experiences have brought changes into our lives, our families, our work lives, our relationships, our congregational future, challenging experiences that brought disruption or discomfort. We have brought with us rushing waters of change and transition. We have brought with us rushing waters of change and transition. The ceremony of water communion is symbolic, and the water we bring to add to our sharing bowl symbolizes the joining of our individual experiences. Our waters that are still or shining, stormy or rushing, come together as merging streams. So this way of doing the ceremony may be a bit different from the way you've done it before, allowing for more personal sharing in small groups. There are bowls on small tables set up at 5 different places around the sanctuary. And you may gather to share your water and the story of your summer experiences with the group around that bowl. You can pick whichever bowl calls to you. They're different colors and in different places. And if you want to visit more than one bowl, you're welcome to do so. We want to make sure that all have the opportunity to share. And I don't think we need a special separate bowl for children. I think the children, everybody of all ages, can share their stories and hear each other into fullness. So as you pour the water into the bowl, please share a few words about your experiences of renewal, of joy, of grief or change, as many of those as apply to you. And please share just a little bit of water so we don't overflow the bowls. If you're with us on Zoom, I invite you to turn on your mics and cameras. I think we've worked out how to do this. And so that you can see each other and hear each other on Zoom. You won't be able to hear the room. Pour a bit of water if you have some handy to share your experiences with others on Zoom. The experiences of renewal, of joy, of grief, and of change that have flowed through your life this year. Once the sharing is complete and you've all said what you need to say, we'll have the bowls brought forward to pour into our central communion water bowl, which we can also use for a group, and then this will be our central gathering place, so that all the waters are mingled, and then we will take the water out and pour it on the mighty oak that the children have planted on the property. So I now invite you to rise and move as you are able, either bringing the water that has come with you, or pouring some water from the pitchers on the tables, and share the water as you share your experiences. You can pour those in. Blessed be these waters gathered from near and far. Blessed be the shared life symbolized in these waters. For this makes us a community of faith, a fount of living water for all who choose to come here. Blessed be those whose lives are touched by these waters, that their thirst be quenched. Blessed be this community of memory and hope, blessed in its coming together and in its sharing of joy and sorrow, struggle and triumph. Blessed be all who come here, welcoming all in building religious community. We live into the call to share journeys, grow in spirit, advance justice, and work toward the transformation of ourselves in a transforming world. At the close of the service, everyone is invited to join me and the children to carry the water out there to share with the mighty oak that was planted by our junior climate action team, a special gift to nourish the world into the decades to come. And now, since this is all about water, of course, we're going to sing Blue Boat Home. So number 1064 in your teal hymnal, I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing this joyous song. Words of blessing as we end this service. This is a poem called All Rivers Run to the Sea by Kaylee Rice. It starts with a drop, then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water bubbling toward its destination. And finally, the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today you brought water, poured it into a common bowl. Though our experiences have differed, these waters mingle, signifying our common humanity. Today you came and shared in this sacred community. May you depart this sacred space, hearts filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start. Go forth, or whatever, go forth. Express yourself, but return to this community where rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles, where your life cup overflows, where deep in your spirit you have found in this place a home. All rivers run to the sea, so may it be. I invite you now to join in the words for extinguishing the flame. They are printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and on this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and on this we live. So anyone who wants to come out as we process the water out to water the mighty oak is welcome to come along.